Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good day to everyone, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to the virtual European Higher Education Fair 2021, Country Presentation 5 for Ireland. Before we start, I would like to remind everybody that this session is allocated a total of 30 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes to our speaker, and 10 minutes for the Q&A later on. At this point in time, without further much ado, I would like to introduce to you our country speaker for Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, she is the Assistant Market Advisor for the Association of Southeast Asian Nation Region Enterprise Ireland. I give you Ms. Janine Virai.
Thank you, Nikor. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. And warmest of welcomes from Ireland. And also welcome to the European Higher Education Fair 2021. And in this session, as mentioned, we will discuss how you will get an edge when you study in Ireland. So let me introduce myself. I am Janine Virai, and I am from Education in Ireland. Education in Ireland is the national brand that promotes Irish higher education institutions overseas, and it is authorized by the Irish Ministry of Education and Skills. So probably today, you're listening to us right now because you're about to make a very important decision in your life, which is to study abroad. And one of the big questions in your head would be, why would I choose Ireland, or why would I study in Ireland? Which is a valid question. So I hope that I would be able to provide you with much information that would help you discover more about Ireland, and also to learn more about what Ireland can offer to provide world-class quality education, and that is renowned all over the world. So Ireland is a very beautiful island that is located in northwest of the European continent, and it has a population of 4.9 million per people. And Ireland has been a European Union member since 1973, which is making its currency euros. And right now, Ireland is the only English-speaking country in in Europe. So most multinational companies choose Ireland as their European hub. So some of the sought-after research companies, and also like the Lonely Planet, which is a sought-after world tourist guide, has named Ireland as one of the top countries to visit. So I'm just showing you a few pictures of the breathtaking landscapes that you would see in Ireland. So it would really captivate you when you would go to Ireland. And also the Good Country Index that measures the contribution to humanity, has named Ireland as best country as well, because of Ireland's contribution to humanity and the planet. And another research company, which is the UN's Human Development Index, which measures the quality of living and also the living conditions across the globe. They have ranked Ireland as fourth across the globe. And then for the safe and friendly environment, in 2021, Ireland has been named as number 8 most peaceful country by Global Peace Index. So I'm sure, like, if you are considering to study abroad, you are thinking one of your considerations would be, is it safe? Is it a friendly country? Is the living conditions is good? So these are just a few of the credible organizations that has vouched for Ireland to be a safe and good country to live in. So let me talk about the Irish culture. So Irish people are very family oriented. They are this is, I think, what we share, what the Asian people share with Irish people, because they do have very strong family ties, and they have a strong love for art and music. So it's really very normal if you go to Ireland that you would see a quartet or a duo performing on the streets and showing you their passion for music and entertaining people. They also have rich history. So you would see a lot of castles, churches that has been there more than 100 years, and also the most celebrated festival of Ireland, which is the St. Patrick's Day. So this is celebrated all over the world, which is showing that Irish people really share their culture all over the world. And yeah, so this is something that you would really experience, and they're very friendly as well, and they would really like get out of their way to help people. Like for me, with my experience going to Ireland, when you go to the streets and you would ask a stranger, they would really stop and make sure that you know where you're going. So this, I think, is very important when you take into considerations how the culture is, and also like where when you're going to migrate somewhere else, how would they accept you if they're very welcoming. So here are just some beautiful places or landscapes that I would like to share with you about Ireland. So in Ireland, they do have the 4 seasons. The winter would be December to Feb, spring would be March to May, and summer would be June to August, and autumn would be September to November. So with going there, what you would experience is during winter time, the daylight is shorter. So around 4 p.m., it's going to be dark. But during the summer and autumn, it would be sunny until 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., which I find very fascinating, because these are things that you don't really experience here in Asia. But when you go to these European countries like Ireland, these are the things that you would be able to experience. And what Ireland is very proud of is also its long-standing reputation for high quality education, which is built on solid foundation and commitment to excellence. So if graduates from Irish universities are welcomed by employers in any industry, in any corner of the world. So it's no exaggeration if you would say that if you graduate or from an Irish institution, your Irish qualification would be your global passport, because no matter where you go or where you wish to pursue your career, your Irish qualifications would be renowned and recognized all over the world. I say this because the Irish government, the Irish state government, makes sure that the quality of education is always reviewed. So the Quality and Qualifications Ireland, or QQI, does an ongoing basis review on the higher education's institutions in Ireland. And they do make sure that all learners and students experience high quality learning. So the national framework of qualifications in Ireland is compatible to European Network of Information Centers, or National Academic Recognitional Information Centers, which is recognized throughout Europe and in other international countries such as the USA, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So as mentioned, most of the multinational companies are in Ireland. So you would really find like different companies in Ireland. So it opens a lot of opportunities for students when they study in Ireland. And another thing to say that is that third of multinational companies that are in Ireland have been in the country for more than 20 years. And this illustrates its longevity and its trust with the country, because they really produce world-class working people. So 9 of the top 10 US technology companies are based in Ireland. All of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies are in Ireland as well. And most of the global software companies, medical technology companies, and industrial automation companies and financial companies that have a European base that are in Ireland. So just to show you some of the logos or the companies that you would find in Ireland. So this would open a lot of opportunities for the students if they're planning to have like an internship, or even for working after their graduation. This is a lot of options for them. So in terms of world-class research, Ireland has, the government of Ireland invests around 782 million annually on research and development. And this funding impacts on Ireland's ranking as 12th in global scientific overall quality of scientific research. So in other specific fields, Ireland is first in immunology, second in agricultural sciences, and third in nanotechnology, and fifth in material sciences. So this exceptional level of collaboration between industry, academia, state agencies, and regulatory authorities also help the drive of Ireland's dynamic R&D sector. So yeah, this just shows that Ireland really invests on their education, and this is something that I'm sure you would want to know more about, and see if you go there and study. So probably you would be asking, like, what would be the cost of studying and living in Ireland? So for non-EU students, the tuition fee would cost around the range from 9,850 euros to 25,500 per annum. So this depends on the course that you would choose and also which institute. For students, when you're in Ireland, you are expected to spend around 7,000 to 15,000 euros per year. This is for your accommodations and living costs. So this would be your rent, your travel and food, and other expenses that you would need when you're a student or studying in Ireland. Another thing to keep in mind is, like, when you're applying for a visa in Ireland, for your student visa, you would be required to show a bond of a minimum of 7,000 euros. So this would show that you are able to finance your first year of living costs. So to know more about this, you may go to educationbondireland.com to know more about the step-by-step requirements and financial details for this bond. So while you're studying in Ireland, an international student on a Stamp 2 visa would be entitled to work for 20 hours per week during your term time and 40 hours per week during your holiday time. So when you are studying in Ireland, you're not required to apply for a work permit. You may study and work at the same time. However, you would need to apply for a PPS number after your college registration. So this PPS number is similar to your national identity number or social security number. So Ireland has a very generous stay back option. So for students taking undergraduate courses, Once you graduate, you would be given an option to stay for a maximum of 12 months. And then if you're taking a master's or a PhD course, you would be allowed to stay for a maximum of 24 months. So just to give you an idea of the COVID situation in Ireland, so Ireland is very vigilant in putting measures and trying to stop the pandemic and the spread of the pandemic. So Ireland's vaccination program has been has commenced approximately 90% of the population over 18 years old, and most of they have the second the 2 doses of the vaccinations already. And also the travel and social distancing restrictions are in place to stop the pandemic. And for people to go, who would go to Ireland, you might be required to do self-isolation for 14 days. So it's better to check the website, www.gov.ie. So because for each country have different requirements. So if you would go there, you would be able to check the requirements for your specific country that you're coming from. So before coming to Ireland, people would be required to complete the public health passenger locator form, which you would need to submit to the border management staff or the immigration officer upon arrival. And also for the schools, they are delivering courses at distance and also providing alternatives for examinations. This is their contribution as well of how to the government of stopping the spread of the pandemic. And also I would like to share with you just recently in September 27, Bloomberg's COVID resilience ranking, they have ranked Ireland as #1. So this COVID resilience ranking is a monthly snapshot of where the virus is being handled the most effectively with the least social and economic upheaval. So Bloomberg compiles or use 12 data indicators such as virus containment, quality of healthcare, vaccination coverage, overall mortality, and of course, the progress towards restarting travel and easing border curbs. So they just recently, they have named Ireland as #1 for COVID resilience among around the world. So to learn more, please visit our website, which is www.educationinireland.com. But if you would want to know more, any specific details about courses, starting dates, or school details, you may approach the international office of the school of your choice. If you would want to know more about visa and travel advisory, do visit ines.gov.ie or dfa.ie and gov.ie. And I do invite you to follow us on Facebook, which is at EduIreland ASEAN, and also our Instagram, which we have for different countries. And for the Philippines, it would be EduIreland Philippines. So do please follow us, and you would know more about what's happening in Ireland and also with the Irish institutions, what are the latest news. Yeah. Also, I'd like to invite you, tomorrow we'll be having our own event, which is the official governmental event for the Government of Ireland. If you could register, it's at asia.educationinireland.live, and that's happening tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you are free, we would like to see you there. And you would be able to talk to the 23 different Irish institutions that will be present during that fair. So thank you for listening. I hope I was able to provide you with as much information, and thank you for considering Ireland. And if you choose to study in Ireland, you will be assured that the very warmest of welcomes awaits you. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Janine, and to everyone. And I think this time I would like to check on our chat box if there are questions.
Okay.
Okay, I think we have one question here. It says that, do you offer masteral in secondary education major in English scholarships?
So for scholarships, we do have scholarships available. So each school has their own scholarships, and also the government has offers scholarships. You may check our website to know more about this. You just type in our website in educationinireland.com. You just type in the course that you would want to you're interested in, and then it would show the schools that offer it and also what are the programs that are available for it. Jayanti, do you want to add in anything more about that?
No, Janine, I believe you have covered it adequately. So as Janine says, please to go into the Education in Ireland website. There are government scholarships listed there as well as higher education institution scholarships.
Okay, and I think we have another from Roman Moreno. Good morning. I'm currently taking my last term at Vienna University of Economics and Business under Erasmus, and will end by February. May I please know if there's an opportunity for me to pursue PhD in the field of management or communications under Erasmus? Thank you very much.
Jayanti, would you be able to answer this?
Sure. So for this, to be really frank, you'd have to approach the institutions directly because many of the institutions do offer programs under Erasmus, and the fields do vary from year to year. So this is a good time, I think, for you to start looking for this sort of information. So I would invite you to actually go into our Education in Ireland website, where there is some links there to the Irish institutions for you to find the ones that are actually shall we say more popular for your particular program. Sorry, we don't have the list with us because this is more on the information that's given by the education institutions. Okay.
Okay, and we have a question from Miguel Ventura. Hi, recently there has been a spike in the anti-Asian attacks in the news. Is the case the same in Ireland?
So for that, no, because just recently in September, we had multiple students from different ASEAN countries like in Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, who went to Ireland and started their studies, and their feedback are really good, and they're happy that also Ireland has also opened schools for face-to-face as well. So they're with the feedback from the students that we have in Ireland, they are the Asian students in Ireland. They're happy, and also they feel safe in Ireland.
Thank you for that. We have another question from Owen Patrick Morale. Will we the one to provide the €7,000 Edu bond first before applying for scholarship, or there would scholarship that would provide it?
Yes, in terms of the €7,000 Edu bond, that will have to be provided by yourselves. This is just to satisfy the immigration, criteria. You most likely won't even need to use it, because if you get a scholarship, that's great. But for immigration purposes, for the visa, you will need to just show that.
Thank you. I think this is the last question regarding, this is from Bill Joseph Mercado. Let me read it to you. Do Ireland recognize Philippine bachelor's degree for master's degree?
Yeah, so for the bachelor's degree, they do recognize it. However, because like in the Philippines, right, the K-12 has just recently been implemented in 2013. So some of the graduates previous that doesn't have the complete K-12 or the years of study that is similar to what Ireland has. So sometimes it would really depend on the college. So sometimes there would need to like inquire with the college, like if they would need to do a first year training, or they could go right away into a master's degree. So it really depends on the institution that they are applying for.
Yeah, but just to take that question a bit further, generally, anybody with a Philippines undergraduate qualification most likely should be able to move on to the master's in Ireland, subject to language requirements and also academic requirements being met.
Okay, and that concludes our Q&A for the presentation, a country presentation for Ireland. Thank you very much for the time. Thank you to our viewers for staying with us for this short time for the presentation. And to properly conclude our presentation, I would like to read something taken out from the EHEF Fair 2021 for the booth of the Irish people. And it states that it takes independent thinkers and doers to succeed in today's world, and it takes a pioneering, creative, and agile country to produce them. That country is Ireland, the Emerald of the Isle. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.